this. If you look at panels, like if you go over and look at that panel, you could actually count. Look at all the little individual cells in here. And on this one, how many cells does it look like you have? It looks like there's 3, but there's really 6. Because this little line here is just a conductor. This is the separation line between the cells, right? With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all cells put out about a half a volt. And it doesn't matter whether this cell is this big or the cells over in that panel there are probably considerably larger. They all, well, it may be a little different depending on the type of cell, but all put out about a half a volt. The size of the cell determines how much current it puts out. So a current a cell that's twice as big has the same voltage that puts out roughly twice the current. Okay? So it's rated by, we think of voltage as the main thing, but voltage without current is whatever. So so you said, well, how much is this? Well, 6 times a half is what? 3. So this is basically 3-volt panel. Okay. And I don't know what those panels are over there. They're probably a 50-volt panel. Well, each one of them is a 50-volt, but then they connect. I'm not sure. Do you know what they would be?
They're usually around 30, 36 volts.
Yeah. So each one of those that you see is 36 or 50. And then you can count 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 times 6 is 18. And let's assume there were 40 volts. Let's say there were 20 there and it was 40 volts, and then like 20 times 40 is 800 volts, right? So that if all those things were put in series, if all the cells were put in series, they may not all be put in series. It depends on what voltage they want to get. They could, for example, have half of them, one half in series, the other half in series to get 400 volts, and they put the 2 in parallel. The other thing is, if you look in the back, you can probably remember this. A lot of people have done solar car sort of races for kids and things like that. And I've been doing it for a long time. And when we started out, what we would do is we'd start off with the basic components and let them build the chassis and the whole thing. That usually they took 2 hours or something like that. A lot of glue and a lot of cut fingers and stuff. So I designed a thing. I got a little grant from the Department of Energy, and I designed these cars so that they can be easily put together. Because what we usually do is we go to schools and we get invited into a classroom and you typically have 50 minutes. So 50 minutes you can talk a little bit about solar, you can talk about how these things work, you can have them do it, and you can go out and do a race and then come back in and break it down. So the Velcro and the screws and everything, rather than glue and solder, it goes a lot better. So anyway, these panels come from Solar Made. If you look up on the internet, look up solar car kits or solar car kits. One of the ones you see would be Solar Made. And these are in Colorado, and they were made specially for a competition called Junior Solar Sprint. So for junior high school age kids, there's a national competition where they can buy these kits. And what does the kit consist? The kit consists of a panel, motor, 4 wheels, 4 rims and 4 tires, and 2 axles, and a motor, and then the gears on the motor. And actually the gears, there are 2 or 3 sets of gears on the motor, so you can change the speed and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, so I basically used the Solar Made kits, components for the Junior Solar Sprint, but then I pre-made the chassis, so that I pre-made the chassis so it can, so the kids can put it together fairly quickly and take it apart. So if you go on the internet, you can under solar car kits, you'll find 20 or 30 around, a dozen or more listed. And this is not the cheapest one. The components, when you buy the panel and the motor and everything together, it's around $30. I bought them partly because they're mostly made in the United States, versus some of the other ones. And also because it's components where I can put them together pretty easily with the chassis that can be together, taken apart, and recycled. So we use these over and over and over.
The reason I asked is because we have 6 RC cars and we have 8 cars. And we just run out of cars and solar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I don't even
Yeah, it depends on what the car is. Some are bigger than others.
You're gonna have to run the speed control and control throttle and steering and all that.
So I had one that I just converted to solar. It was one more for the remote. I think I had two of these little panels on top. Yeah, you can do that. So what he's saying is that you've got some of these cars that are battery powered that they can convert to solar. It's sort of neat. I have another one, sort of a demo that I forgot to bring today. It's just like this, where it's put together. But I put a little battery, I've got a little battery mounted under it with a switch, so I can switch it either to solar or to battery. So like days like today, you know,